Let's do some music. Let me know. There we go.
Here we go. Recording away. Welcome to the Metal Toad Hackathon, AWS Media Services, Q2 2020. Hacking our way through the pandemic.
All right. Welcome, welcome.
So, welcome. We've got 3 teams today. Nathan, did you want to say anything before the teams start? Otherwise, I'm just going to steal the spotlight and kick them off.
Go steal the spotlight.
Okay. We have 3 teams today. The first and foremost that is going to be presenting is Team Murder Hornets. Then we have, yes, they're with their killer drone. Then we have Team Toad. And then last but not least, we have Team Babu Frick. So without further ado, each team has 15 minutes to walk us through their presentation about their project, share a demo, and share some of their challenges and lessons learned. And then at the end of each presentation, there should be time for Q&A for each of the different teams. And then we just get to hang out and talk tech afterwards. So that's the agenda for the next hour or so. All right, without further ado, Team Murder Hornets, are you ready? Do you need any more time?
We're good. I think Tyler's going to kick us off and show the broadcast from the live stream if Vaughn is ready to go.
I will hand the baton over.
Hi, everybody. So I'm going to share my screen and get the stream loaded up here. And then I'll see the border. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes, I can.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So while we're prepping, what's the origin story for the name? This is a drone.
Yeah, what was it?
I think it was
current events.
Species of Asian hornet that has shown up in Washington and is decapitating bees.
Yeah.
it's a sign of the times.
Has everybody seen Tony's post in Dark Humor, Dark Times about murder hornets?
No.
I think I need an invite to that channel. I don't have access to it.
On its way.
It was, what are murder hornets and how much toilet paper do I need?
Oh my God.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe having a tad technical. Oh, here it goes.
Oh no, I said.
Remember,
Vaughn's
there's
got
this
it
latency
started.
thing. There's this awesome video stream on. You can watch that.
Hey, more on that later. 'Cause,
I think it's going to expire. I'll start a new session here.
Look at how much I've missed out on in Dark Humor and Dark Times.
Well, now you got something to do this weekend.
Totally, yep.
We expect full participation. Links from you.
I have some to add right now.
While we're getting prepped, I am really, really excited
There we
about
go.
the hackathon. There we go.
Ooh.
nice. No,
So
that
this is
crashed.
live
Whoa.
stream.
he crashed.
Well, at least we can see stuff.
He's going to go to a park, but I guess something happened and he
Yeah.
wasn't able to.
Well, the video works, so that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the final latency we figured out was like 35 seconds. So
That's pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we could have reduced it down if we were RTP, but this drone was RTMP only. So that might have done something. Also, it was like, there's the drone had to talk to the phone, and then the phone goes up to
AWS.
Amazon. Yeah, AWS. So
Yep, and it should be backing up to S3 too.
There it goes.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Hey,
Made
we're
it
flying.
move.
We're flying.
Are we live streaming from a drone?
Yeah.
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 Oh, there it goes.
there's a little more action.
It might be better outside.
So what drone is this being shot with? Is it one of the mini ones?
This is a DJI Spark.
Yeah, Spark, yeah.
I think
Really
Vaughn
impressive.
said it has about 15 minutes of fly time.
Yeah, he said it's pretty small battery.
Yeah, a couple
Oh
pounds.
my goodness.
Um,
Should we go
Cool.
to the deck
Yep.
now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
let's
pretty
do it.
cool.
I'll
Yeah,
turn it
you
over
can
to
share
Ellie
the-
here.
Well done.
All right.
Very exciting.
So we, oops. All right. Well, so we called our project Darth Jar Jar MK2. And this is our logo that thank Sonali created for us actually in, I think, maybe. We were going to have guns being held by his little arms there, but, you know, didn't quite make it in the cut. And so going into it, just the overview is this product is for a real world use case where drone media can stream live from anywhere in the world by leveraging AWS Media Services. Folks lose drones all the time. Memory cards fail all the time. If you're shooting important once in your lifetime footage, this could be invaluable.
Fun fact, that's the actual drone that Vaughn has.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then our technical approach, just the inputs and outputs are coming from the drone, going through AWS Elemental Media Live, and then running through the Elemental, being saved on the S3 card and being played back out through live stream. The obstacles were physics, gravity, and latency. We did start, the first test we had like it was almost a minute's worth of latency. And I don't know, Ryan, Tyler, you want to jump in and kind of describe how we chopped it down to 35 seconds?
Yeah, so we found a couple things. First thing was segmentations. Yeah, like the number of segments. Turn that all the way down just to one each. And then the GOP structure, whatever that means.
That's our Nathan hack.
Yeah.
We learned about that one.
You know what, guys, I'm looking at this picture you have on your screen of the sun and the earth and the gravity. And I just want to make sure you guys understood that the whole goal right now is to flatten the curve.
The Earth is already flat, so.
Oh, that's
Tony,
awful.
it's not your turn, Tony. So we all saw Vaughn's live demo with the drone flying around his house. And then Ryan, you want to jump in?
Oh yeah. Yeah, at the beginning we kind of figured that just having one drone and one Vaughn was going to be hard, but we actually solved that by just having a test stream for our input, and then it was kind of it was relatively easy to kind of just like plug the drone in and be like, all right, now we're ready to test the drone. So and then on top of that, just setting up other S3 or AWS stuff is like really easy, surprisingly. So, and a lot of the media stuff is kind of already built for you when you say, say file new. basically. So lessons learned. Yeah, I think we kind of touched base on some of this stuff. Latency, RTP probably could have helped, but it was incompatible. And it took us a while to figure out how to get it to stop overwriting your previous upload for backup. Just kind of weird, like S3 documentation throwing us in different places. And yeah, drones are super neato. I mean, I barely worked with drones before, so it was cool for me. So
Yeah, it was pretty cool to watch it in action, even if it was just sitting on the desk, actually.
yeah, exactly.
All right, any questions?
Were you actually using both the pipelines for the input for media, or did you only use a single one there?
Single.
Okay.
Yeah.
For you,
Yeah, that picture was just a screen grab. So it's a little not right.
did you use CloudFormation or any other type of configuration for the Media Live components?
No cloud formation, right?
No, we ended up not using CloudFront in this case. The CloudFormation stack actually set most of it up and connected a lot of it.
Right.
So I understood there's a trade-off between latency and reliability. As you chopped down the latency, did you have any issues with glitchiness of your video, or you never got that low to have to worry about it?
I noticed one or two, like kind of a screen tear, and then the first time we switched it over, there was some kind of like gray, like everything went to grayscale, like stuck in a keyframe kind of thing, and then caught up after the next keyframe, but anything after that. So maybe it was a transitional thing. But also we didn't get our latency all that low, so maybe there was more area where that would have been the case.
Cool. Any other questions? All right. Well, I want to thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
That's great.
If you Queen, if you don't mind, I'd love to give some shout outs and maybe see if we can't get all of the teams to weigh in. As everyone knows, I'm big on houses, so I'd love to see who's part of all of the houses. And then I'd also like to give a shout out, one to Metal Toad, as far as the hackathon tradition. This has been something that's been part of Metal Toad DNA for a really long time. And I think it's fantastic that even though we're going through a lot in terms of, the shutdown, we can't hang out together. I think we did our first virtual hackathon last year, and we do this biannually. Special welcome and shout out also to our guest, Stacy Lizzo, who is in. Stacy, I don't know if you have a chance to turn on your screen and say hi, but hello.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi.
And then also a shout out to, I believe it is Sean Prisbila, who was the consultant from Elemental, who was helpful in helping the teams essentially hunt down any of the issues that they were running into. So Karina, would you mind counting off the teams, and we can get everybody on screen to sort of identify which team they're a part of? We've just had Murder Hornets, so maybe we could start with the Murder Hornets. Do all the Murder Hornets want to wave on the screen, buzz angrily?
We're
all
missing
right.
Vaughn.
Who else do we have?
Okay, and Vaughn is also on Team Murder Hornets. There he is. Hi, Vaughn. You want to wave? And then our next team was Team U-Toad. Does Team U-Toad want to wave? That was Joe, Marilia, Michael, Ellis, Nathan.
And this was
then
U-Toad is in YouTube, so we're hacking it up and essentially you've replicated YouTube, right?
Yeah, we set ourselves up for a lawsuit.
But better. And then the third team is Team Babu Frick, if Babu Frick wants to wave. And this was Tony, Brent, Julie, and Ron.
Yay. And like the Harry Potter Tri-Wizarding Cup, what's at stake is, I think, Legend Forever. Is that the essentially table stakes is what we're talking about here?
Correct, unless Team Babu Frick wins, and then all of a sudden the prize goes up.
All right,
According to our
great.
CPO.
If someone
Thanks so much.
whoever team wins, I'm gonna look at with a wise eye and say, "Job well done."
And Stacy, since we're representing, or we've really been exploring AWS Elemental Technologies, I don't know if you have anything that you want to say about this, or how common hackathons with vendors are, or any thoughts you might have. Putting you on the spot. That's all right.
Well, and I do want to give AWS Media Services and Elemental a shout out here, because Stacy has worked with us to get some of our posts on social promoted through the Elemental channels as well. So thank you for that. That was really exciting to see. And a shout out to all the different team members that hopped on the videos yesterday. As of this morning, those videos had over 1,000 views. So per video. So it's really exciting stuff.
Great. All right, thank you. That was the little bit of the pomp and circumstance, so we can get back to the meat of the presentations.
All right. I believe Team Toad is up next. Team Toad, you ready?
Yes.
All right. Handing the baton over.
Okay. Are you guys seeing my slide screen?
Yes, we are.
Okay, great. We are Team UTOAD. We are Nathan Wilkerson, Michael Ellis, Maria Bedoya, and Mito Mathis. And I think we have an awesome logo. Whoops. Overview of our projects. Of course, it's similar to YouTube. It's a social media platform for on-demand video. Since we had 2 days, we just went ahead and used tools we're already familiar with, like Amplify. And of course, we're gonna add some media services to the mix. And for the Amplify service, we matched that with the React web application. And here is a overview of our architecture. User will come in to the website, they will sign in and upload a video to the website that will go to an S3 storage bucket, and that storage event will trigger an event to a Lambda, which will trigger a media convert job. And when that job is finished, it will put the on-demand streaming video into the S3 bucket for everyone to see who assigned it. Our approach was to, again, use Amplify to really quickly get a lot of cool services, authentication, storage for the video uploads. We'll get a website, not with a custom domain, but with like a dev domain. And the Lambda trigger, we did that all with the Amplify CLI in just a couple minutes to get the basic services started. Add that to that, the media convert, that was basically using that Lambda trigger to use the AWS SDK to write the code for that. And
we mobbed on this all together on my local computer in VS Code using LiveShare. And this enabled everyone to remotely edit the code at the same time, as well as a cool feature called focus follow. So like if Nathan was on a different file and I wanted to see what he was doing, he could focus me into that file right where he was at, which was very helpful. And it also provided us with remote development server access. So when I was running my localhost website, Michael was able to use that on his own computer without spinning up his own server. Some of the obstacles we ran into, the Lambda, when we were doing the media convert code, we ran into some issues and the error messages were not very helpful, and that took us some time to overcome. We used React Player for the main video on the page, and HLS isn't supported 100% on the web. And so we're hoping we get that support with React Player, and we didn't. Yeah, so that took us a little bit. And JavaScript moderately evil. That's because we had a couple Python developers on our team, but I think that was mainly for the Lambdas, right? Not the React code.
Yes, completely for the React's awesome. Lambda JavaScript ones aren't my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with my amplified knowledge, I probably got too much of the spotlight, but to make up for that, we were all coding on the VS Code together. So we didn't delegate the work. We all collaborated as one. And another obstacle was the video domain knowledge. It really helps. I mean, using the media services is actually a lot easier than all the domain knowledge that you need for video, because there's a lot of stuff that goes along with video. We also had this interesting issue with the recursive Lambda trigger. So we were uploading videos from the website to the same S3 bucket that we're uploading the converted videos to. And so whenever we upload a converted video, it would trigger another media convert, and it would just keep going and going. And we ended up with hundreds of convert jobs, and we had to kill it. So that was fun. And lastly, Amplify still has a few fuzzy issues. I was having some of the same problems I had last time with overriding the theme in the React high order component. Okay, let's move on to the demo. I did put a, actually we're gonna demo our VS Code environment first. We wanted to do that really quickly. So right now, I've already started a live share session, so it's pretty easy. You just go over here, start sharing, and it gives you a link. Copy it in the Slack, and Michael, I believe, is already in here, or not? Oh, he's
joining right now.
Okay, it's the same URL, so he's gonna come in really quick, and I'll have him go. So there he is. We'll have him go to a different view and focus me into it, and maybe do some editing. And yep, there we go. And so he could also be editing different files while I'm editing other files. But if he wants to bring me in to see what he's doing, he could just focus me, and you just click down here by your name and focus participants right there. Then we could share the localhost service right up here. Okay, I already got that spinning up.
Yeah, being able to use, so it just uses SSH port forwarding, so it's not the world's most elaborate thing, but it was very impressive to click on something in here that was in Joe's environment, and on my local machine, in my local browser, open up the dev server on his box without having to do anything. It just worked.
Yeah, it was
The other thing you can do is everything, if Joe does it in the terminal, I can see what he's doing in the terminal. Right now, the terminal is read only to me, but he can make the terminal read write. So literally I can run his terminal for him remotely if he's doing something else.
Yeah, that's a little bit more dangerous, but know who you're sharing that URL with, because it comes with risks.
Well, I'm really looking forward to us using this for all of our projects and all of our developers all at the same time. I think it's going to be wonderful transparency that all of us do at the exact same time for all the projects. Yeah?
Yep.
Can I get an amen? No? All right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I like it. Yeah, we were debating.
I will say one thing, which is 2 people paired together with this is awesome. 3 or more gets a little zany when one person's doing one thing, the other 2 are doing another, and things are just kind of happening and you're not quite sure why.
Yeah. So let's go on to the actual website demo and go into incognito so I can. So yeah, I couldn't get this centered. I think we're using React Bootstrap, and I think some of the theming for that messed this up. But you do get this sign-in page. This was just, we added the line with authenticator, and that was it to get this. So sign in. Oh no, did I do that again? Test user. That is the right name. Ah, there we go. Oh, so far we already have some videos uploaded. We have a playlist, and I think I want to show off the loading, because all of our toads are loading the videos. These are just previews. They're not actual images, they're actual videos, and I just make it so when you click on them, then that will be the selected video that you can play up here.
So today was a huge success for us here at Metal Toad. You know, we partnered with AWS and Elemental.
And you can see it streaming. It looks like it's going a little bit slow, probably because we weren't able to use HLS because of the web browser difficulties. So we ended up using -ISO for cross-browser support. Up here, we have the ability to upload our file. So let's see, another Metal Toad demo. And put in this little progress bar. So the progress bar is realistic in that it's going to show when the S3 upload's converted, but it's a little janky after that. It just uses a timer and then re-uploads the videos, because I haven't found a really good way to get a notification for when it's done in the 2 days of the hackathon. So that should, in a second it'll jump though. Actually, this is kind of a longer video, so it might actually take up all that time.
I'm so glad we picked Jonathan and not me for the video. I don't know if anybody else hates seeing themselves speak, but I definitely put myself in that camp.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Joaquin, there is one where you are the speaker. Joe was just kind enough to click on Jonathan.
Unfortunately, they all have the same intro, so you can't tell which one is which.
We'll go to a part where he's making a funny face. No.
Future time.
It looks like the video is done uploading. So one caveat was that, okay, it probably took too long, longer than the progress bar. So we'll have to refresh to see it, unfortunately. Oh, it looks like it's not even in there yet.
Could be still transcoding.
Yeah, it was a larger file. Some of our test files were a lot smaller than that. I think this was one of the longer ones. Let's try it one more time.
It wouldn't be a good hackathon if it weren't for some stops and starts. Ultimately, did you guys enjoy working with this? Did it feel like, were you surprised with what you were able to accomplish?
Yeah, I think this is the video.
That's probably it.
It's Nathan's idea. Don't shoot me.
Excellent.
You got Tony.
All right.
A man.
Let's get back out of here.
To answer your question, I was actually pleasantly surprised with how much we got done with this. It was really nice just to work with it. A little bit stop starts on that Lambda using JavaScript because of the language difficulties.
Yeah, it did slow. If we would have used Python, we probably would have gotten more done. But we did have success in using JavaScript with Python programmers. Our collaborative approach was pretty cool. We got an awesome logo, and our site works. I mean, it does upload and streams video. I think the main issue is a notification that the upload is done. Yeah, I felt like we skipped one. Lessons learned. Did we skip that? Yes, we did. So we really just skimmed the top of the capabilities that we could have done. There's a lot more to the API than what we used. The paired programming with VS Code was awesome. As Michael said, it's not as efficient with 3 or 4 people. But that was like the trade-off for, the hackathon where we were mobbing all together, all to learn. We also learned from Sean when we were troubleshooting the Lambda. The Amplify actually has a library for video that it does on-demand and streaming. But it is an add-on. It doesn't come with Amplify, so you have to install it. We decided to take a deep dive and just keep using the media services through the Lambda on our own. We also learned that Amplify has many more cool features now since the last hackathon, like personalize and chat bots. So, but we weren't there for Amplify. We were here for media services. Python for Lambdas would have helped us get a lot more done, but we learned. And as I mentioned, architecting the queue and notifications better would have helped solve our upload finish problem. All right, that's it.
How were you able to get the raw clip of Bob singing when he was younger? Is that?
Oh, that one. It took me a second.
He was my idol, Rick Astley, man. I lived him in real time. You guys are just discovering him.
I think I danced to him as well at the school disco.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that's funny.
I have a question regarding that transcoding and or the upload. Did you guys have any time to play around with like mobile, either for consumption or upload? I'd be super curious to know if that's part of what's rolled in, or if that requires additional functionality.
We haven't tried it, but my guess is it should work in a mobile browser.
Wow.
It's React, so it should. I mean, the breakpoints are probably terrible, but
Right.
it'll probably work right now.
We did use React Bootstrap, so we should get some breakpoint functionality, at least for the navigation. I'm not sure how the carousel will work and everything else, but feel free to try. We posted the link if anyone wants to try it out in the Hackathon channel.
Ooh.
Other question, in terms of the transcoding, is it dynamic as far as like, can you can pull out like thumbnails and all different sizes?
No, we just, you can upload any file format, but it's pretty rigid in what you get back. So we're just using media convert with one output, and that was the dash ISO. We did want to use HLS, but the web browser support wasn't that great.
Yeah.
In the amount of time.
If we wanted to and had more time to do it, you could go in and actually put it so when you upload, you get a screen that would give you more variables you could set and then pass those in. We didn't have time to get that far with it.
How was the division of labor? What did you guys each end up doing?
It was well, of course I did most of the React code, but we got Nathan and Michael coding some JavaScript. And go ahead.
I think me and Michael did the carousel. We got that working. We broke it out into a micro component, and me and Michael were pairing on that. All three of us were mobbing on that stupid Lambda that took us forever with JavaScript. And all the beautiful parts of it was all Joe. We'd call at the end of the day. He was like, maybe I'll get back on and work on it later. You come in and like everything's styled.
Was the recursive Lambda, was that just being triggered like event trigger, like from upload or the finish of a encoding job? What was triggering it over and over again?
Sure. So it was triggering it was saving to the same S3 bucket, and we originally set it up with just a blanket trigger. Anything in the S3 bucket gets passed in. The thing that made it really devastating was that if you transcode something, you actually get like 3 or 4 files for like the audio and the video and the data files. So every time it made one, it would trigger 4 more.
It's bigger.
Recursive Lambda cause cost?
You know, $20 or so. I actually priced it out at one point because I was curious.
Yeah.
The recursive cloud anything doesn't sound cheap.
Yeah, that's why, once we noticed it happening, we went into the Lambda and just like commented out code and just stopped it as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
that's
and we
dangerous.
said it's recursive. It ran for like 10 minutes, and then we caught it and turned it off. It's not like we let it run overnight.
Yeah, that's a bad time to go take a vacation right there.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No,
Nice
great
job,
job.
team.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, let me stop sharing.
All right. And last but not least, we have Team Babu Frick as our third and final presentation. You ready, Team Babu?
Yeah, Team Babu. Now I'm going to be facilitating and leading today, but really the hard work and labor goes out to Braun and Brent and Julie. I just watched from afar. A couple hot dogs. I mean, I barely did anything. So Ron, Brent, I just, can I get a round of applause for those three? I will take all the credit, but they did all the work. Here we go. So the name of your experience today is called Babu Frick Feels Bad, and I'm hoping this experience teaches you some good lessons about caring for others. And our journey begins today with a character named Babu Frick. Let me go into presentation mode here. Zoom buttons. So Babu Frick, for those of you who've seen Rise of Skywalker, is an Anzalian male that lived between the Empire and the rise of the First Order. And he was a droid smith. And he worked with the spice miners on Jemiju, or a planet that has a J in the beginning of the name, Jemjai. And he worked in the underground. He's a little small. He's about 8 inches tall. And one of his specialities was being able to get past security protocols in droids and to wipe their memories. And that is where our journey begins, because Babu Frick wiped C-3PO's memory. And C-3PO had no sense of who he was or his friends. all the stories that he's been through. And he was so upset about it that his eyes turned red. He was very frustrated that he had no memory. So he had red eyes. Well, if you watch the movie, you know that eventually C-3PO got his memories back from R2-D2, but Babu Frick didn't know that. And so he felt really, really bad that he wiped C-3PO's memories. And so he's losing sleep and he's trying to figure out some way to teach C-3PO who his friends were again. And so I talked to Babu a little bit, and because I'm a CTO at a firm that does Amazon technologies, I recommended he look into the Amazon Media Services stack as a potential solution for reprogramming C-3PO. So what I worked with Babu on was a technical approach. I actually did not have to use CloudFormation templates for the engineers in the room. Babu understood this so well that he actually put most of this together for me really quickly. So it'll look like someone used CloudFormation templates, but I did not use one. So, hey buddy, I'm talking. Could you be quiet, or do you want to come sit on my lap and talk? No. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take video clips of C-3PO's friends, and we're going to upload them through a React.js website that is also controlled by Authenticator. And I agree, Joe, that was nice to have the Cognito plugins all done for you. It's going to upload through a React.js website into S3. I have a little Lambda job on API Gateway for that. And really, this hackathon project is around AWS STEM functions. I wasn't planning on it being, but it ends up being that most of the work and thinking actually went into step functions. And for those who are unaware, AWS step functions are kind of like maybe what you'd think of as like a batch operator or orchestrator, but it lets you run multiple cloud services in parallel. And then kind of do some orchestration about how they enter and exit. It's a lot of stuff going on. I'm actually going to show you how much it is, but the orchestrator, the step functions feed into recognition, recognition for video, that's with a K, transcribe, and comprehend. So transcribe is what I was doing for audio to text. Comprehend is the audio machine learning, auditorial machine learning. And then the results are saved very conveniently into Elasticsearch. And what's nice about that is you can just kind of dump them out there. All these things output JSON. So you can just dump them raw into Elasticsearch, and you have, at that point, an API tier for an application to use. So it's a total of 12 services being used. And again, I did not use a CloudFormation template. I did not. Babu Frick did all the hard work there. I would never use a template on a hackathon. It seems terrible to do. I want to show you really quick what the state machine looks like. So there's 6, total is 5 on this one, but there's 6 total states. One is for labels, which is an object and term labeler, celebrity matching, face recognition, face existence, then face recognition, then person existence. And these are all coded into these step functions and executed in parallel using different microservices. Extraordinarily powerful feature of AWS Step. Here's the 6th one. This is the audio. And the audio goes through Media Convert. What Media Convert does is separate the audio file from the video file so then we can run it into transcription. So 6 steps overall in the state machine. It was pretty fun to play with. So let's, before I do obstacles, the way I'm going to teach, the way Babu Frick, is going to teach C-3PO is through this video clip. I'm going to play it for you right now. It's 17 seconds.
You ever gonna go?
That's it. So if you think about, you know, what would be the outputs that you'd expect them to C3PO to know that who Chewbacca is, who Rey is, who Finn is, and who Poe is. And because we're using celebrity recognition, we'd also expect 3CPO to know who Daisy Ridley is, who Jason, I can't pronounce his last name, is, and whoever the actor is that plays Poe is. Isaac something. So 3 actors, 4 characters. Now I did try to do the Millennium Falcon as well by random problems. We'll get into that in a minute. So let me give you a little demo of the portal here. So this is the Babu Frick portal for reprogramming C3PO with his memories. And we have on the left, we have the 3CPO reprogramming console. And this is where you input the data, and the data will go through the cloud and produce great insights. And then on the right, you have Babu Frick sometimes asking you, who were the friends again? Because Babu Frick can't remember, his brain's very tiny. So what I would do is I would upload the video to C3PO and see if he can recognize folks. And if he couldn't, then I would go to Babu and say, Babu, you're not doing a good job. You need to teach him who these people are. So let me show you the photos that I used to teach Babu, to remind Babu who the friends were. So this is the training image for Chewbacca. This was the training image for Poe. This was the training image for Finn. And this was the training image for Rey. So these 3 images I gave to Babu to help him remember who the friends were. Everything else is using libraries that AWS provided. So I'm going to go ahead and do a live run through. So I can show you, I really want to show you how the state machine works. And I just got to move Zoom here. So let's go ahead and pick that video clip. Open. So this little trailer goes there. And then I'm going to just upload memory. This media will help C3PO remember his friends. So we're going to upload. I'm just using Bootstrap, default Bootstrap for the visuals. And then when it starts to run, I'm going to run over to the Amazon console and show you the state machine live. So this is the step, these are the step functions, and they give you this really cool visual experience of all those states. So here is video, is it face enabled? And these are all the different processing paths going on in the cloud. And a lot of these are microservices. I only have one Lambda job that I'm using. But you can kind of see as it goes through and it's going, you know, is the person functionality supported? If so, pass the parameters in. There's a wait function to match it with the other jobs. And then it's starting the process to get status and complete. So now person is complete and has moved back into its wait state. If you keep going over, you can kind of just keep watching these as they tick through and try to finish. And then way over here, you've got audio. Audio is it's in transcription mode right now. So it's starting to do transcription. Audio takes longer because it has to go through media convert first and have the audio sliced out. And then there's also a detailed log of every single state that was hit. It's quite lengthy. Like actually there's a load more button, there's so many. And then for each one, you can see the results. And one thing that I love is you can see the actual results that you'll pass into Elasticsearch, which will eventually feed your API. So if I can find a really good example here for what Elasticsearch would look like when you're done. I'm looking for the labels one. What about labels? Huh. That one's terrible. That's not it. Maybe it was a celebrity. No? I'm not seeing any labels in there. Yeah, dude. Well, don't cheat it. I was hoping there would be more events loaded that I could show this to you. It's amazing. It's the best JSON you'll see all day. For those of you who need to see better JSON in your lives. It's too bad. Okay, anyways, all these show the output. I literally just take every single JSON output and dump it into Elasticsearch. Hey, bud. I know, maybe you should play with that right now. Yeah, I'm talking to a lot of people and I'm being recorded. Okay. Anywho, so that's done. Now let's view the results. So this is the video. Down here are my results. And what I could do here is actually add what the recognition product was looking at. So if I click on faces and then hit play, you should be able to see the bounding box of face recognition. Do you guys see that on your screen? Ooh, it's up.
Yeah, we can see it. The red bounding boxes. Yeah.
And also with people as well. Let's try to restart it. It recognizes those as people, or at least persons, and there's 2 persons.
Holograms are people too, Tony.
Yeah, I don't know. That was kind of a debate in the one Star Trek episode with the doctor. So let's see here. Let's see how we did. So on labels,
Morty actually put that one to bed.
Yeah, thank you. Boom. These are all, I think I set the limit at, I thought it was 75. Yeah, so 75% confidence interval. So we're pretty sure we have an animal, face, head, human, a mammal, a person, a photo, photography, female, nature, outdoors, apparel, clothing, man, aircraft, and spaceship. And that I like because that was that little tiny bit of a scene that we got with the Millennium Falcon. I'll talk more about custom labels and Amazon here in a minute. Vehicle, machine, portrait, woman, wheel. So Amazon provides out of the box these kind of simple terms, but any implementation that's gonna be done in the real world will probably want to use custom training sets, which they've launched some new features recently to make it extremely easy. Not extremely easy for a hackathon, much to my frustration, but quite easy to do, to add additional labels. For facial attributes, we have male, beard, eyes open, surprised, fear, confused, angry, disgusted, sad, calm, happy, and female. Beard is Chewbacca. In fact, for a long time, beard was the only thing I could get for Chewbacca until I started doing more training. So Chewbacca for a long time was beard, and both 3CPO and Bobby Frick were so confused. And so I really had to step in there and kind of host a resolution. So known faces are the trained. These are the ones I uploaded manually, these photos that I showed you earlier of Poe and Chewbacca. And they did a really good job. Hey, bud. What you doing, hon? Thank you. You playing on your computer? Yeah. Okay. So if I turn on known faces and hit play, now it sees Chewbacca and it sees Poe, and it recognizes them and classifies them correctly. And that wasn't possible earlier. So we got Chewbacca, Finn, Poe, and Rey. Celebrities, this came out of the box. We got Oscar Isaac, John Boyega, and Daisy Ridley. So we got the celebrities matched, and we got Chewbacca, Finn, Poe, and Rey matched. And I didn't do a lot of text. There's actually only one line, which was, "Are you ever gonna go?" And transcript found it. "Are you ever gonna go?" So we've got the transcript, celebrities, and known faces. If I was going a little bit further, I'd do entities and phrases, which are things that a business would say is important to it on transcript, and call them out. I did not code any phrases or entities in, so I didn't have any results there, but we did succeed in our goal of the both audio and visual machine learning and pulling those out. And then the Elasticsearch results are stored here. And so these are all the prior results. I put a really lightweight search in there's not a lot of functionality there, but it does a little bit of searching of the Elasticsearch index. I could add some more terms and then you can see more, but these are my previous runs that I've been doing. So there you go. Cool. That is machine learning with visual and audio, and then using media convert via AWS step functions. Back to this. So my obstacles were the Chewbacca is more than just a beard. He is a creature with feelings and deserves to be recognized by C-3PO. That's a good friend of his. Converting from M4V to MP4 was a little bit of a stumbler. I found some really good conversion technologies there, but I can't share them in a public forum. The maintain audio, I was using some native stuff on Mac OS X, but I kept having audio problems. So I actually ended up using the AWS console for media convert or covert, media convert, and actually just upload it directly like it was a SaaS product. So you can actually use media services like a SaaS product and just upload files if you need to and do things on the fly. You don't need to use a code or an API or anything like that. And there's some hard-coded 30-second waits in the step functions to allow things to catch up. And if I was to do this for like production release, I would have that all based on triggers and other quality checks, rather than just sitting there and waiting for 30 seconds, hoping everything catches up. It is on CloudFront. And so the reason, CloudFront's nice is not only caching, but also it means I can make the S3 buckets private. So S3 is closed and is firewalled. The only way to access anything is through this URL, which is only allowed for port 443. So some pretty good security there. So the win is really all comes down to C-3PO. He really is our goal here, and he does know who his friends are again. At that point, we should just stop talking and celebrate, but I'll keep going. The CloudFormation template was a breeze for 12 services, and I am now just reminded how much I love CloudFormation and how much of a godsend it is. I will never admit that I used one, obviously. That's more of a Babu Frick did that, but and also the AWS CLI, I did everything on the CLI for this, and I have forgotten how much of a pleasure the CLI is. So I was just very happy with that constantly. Debug mode, everything is really good. This is what I wish I could have done. So custom labels allows you to create anything. So this would be if you want to do like a jacket or brand or logo or anything that's non-human. It is extremely powerful. You could just do 2 or 3 images and it's pretty smart at that point. And it only needs a few frames or less and it could catch it. So I really wanted to use the custom labels API. I got really far with it, but I just could not get there in the hackathon time. But it's a really powerful tool. You could do everything, coffee mugs, socks, and you name it. So lessons learned, if you're relying on labels, custom labels or default labels, there's just gonna be a lot of iterations to play with the confidence numbers. And then to group and aggregate the confident labels in the ways you want them to. I wish I could explore custom labels more. Face recognition is just, there's no brains required. It is so simple. It's so easy to use, which is terrifying. If you think about it, it is really, I mean, filling up the gas tank is more complicated than using face recognition software in Amazon. So that's terrifying, but it's also, way to go Amazon. And then the recognition API is really, really easy to use. It's very well documented. Every single one of the methods has a really reliable set of like a schema set that's used. And so doing front-end development or developing a nice search index for it is just really, really graceful and seamless. That's it. Any questions?
That was great, Tony. How easy was it to get it to look that way? It was a really slick looking interface.
Oh yeah, that's all real. That was a real interface from Bobby Frick's lab. Yeah, that's a React front end, and so it's actually just a couple styles. It's all an illusion, Julie.
React Bootstrap.
Yeah, it's React Bootstrap.
Yeah, that's what we used.
Yeah, it's nice. It's React Bootstrap, just makes everything really fast and polished.
Yeah.
So you mentioned recognition could pull up Chewbacca, although thought he was a beard, which is interesting in and of itself. But
until I taught him who he was, it thought he was a beard.
What are the limitations, though, of recognition? Could you teach it how to recognize the Millennium Falcon, or is it purely?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I had that video in there, that clip, is that was my ambition for this hackathon. And I bet you probably another, day or two I could get there. It took a little more work than I thought to get to object recognition beyond what's default. Takes more work, but absolutely feasible and actually not that difficult, but a little bit on the time-consuming side.
I have a question for the team. Is anybody else as interested in this as I am? Anybody interested in machine learning?
Yes.
After this, the visual machine learning? Yeah.
This is what I was trying to tell Claviet about when we were down over there. This is what you could do with Amazon tools out of the box. You don't have to build it yourself like they were trying to do.
Yeah.
So we're keeping this, Tony, as a demo for clients, just so you know.
Yeah, I mean, I might want to do a little restyling, but sure.
And perhaps more importantly, Tony, could you actually sort people into houses, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, etc., with this technology?
I think you could, because what you would do is... All right, help me out, bud. What? So I actually limited the results. There's actually probably 80 different emotional characteristics that I found in characters, and so I just did the higher confidence numbers. And what you do is you'd say people with these facial characteristics, like sad or disgusted or angry or happy or whatever, confident, smiling. You would create clusters, and those clusters you could apply to people in videos and say, these are the clustered items of Hufflepuff, and the clustered items of Slytherin. And yeah, I think you could actually, you could build a sorting hat, an online sorting hat based on video.
Tony, I think this is really very impressive, and I really enjoyed the storytelling and the secret fifth member of your team in the background there. Also a great addition.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, very impressive.
He's very talented at taking a 1 hour development effort and turning it into 2. It's almost magic. I think he's a wizard.
And we do have to call out too that Tony did this without help from anyone else. So I feel like it just goes to show how much you can do in such a short time, without a lot of effort. So I think it is really impressive. There's so many real world applications where I can see this being just so useful and impactful. Good job.
Well, thank you.
So well done to everybody. Karina, are we going to call out or award the winner? I'm not even sure who officially is the judge.
We do. I don't think every team is the winner.
Oh.
It's all 3 teams are the winners. And I feel like the attendees who got to watch the magic happen are also winners. So,
I think Metal Toad is the real winner here.
I agree.
All right, can we give everybody a round of applause? That's pretty awesome. Super great what everybody has done. really appreciate the effort. Hope everybody had as much fun doing it as we have watching it. So fantastic. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody.